What's up, guys? It's JL. Welcome to JL Talks. And in this video, I'm going to go over if it's possible to do DoorDash full time. In my situation, I tried doing DoorDash full time while going to school, while working a full-time job. Now, did I make it work? Yes and no. I know everyone hates that answer, but it's the truth. So yes, I was able to make it work. No, I wasn't able to make it work because it worked for a little bit, like maybe 2 weeks, and then absolute garbage. Now, if you guys have done, I call it Doordash as a joke. It's like a Hispanic thing. I honestly think that DoorDash is one of the worst apps out there, right? There are some good times because I think in the summer of, I want to say 2022 or 23, me and my girlfriend literally would go in the same vehicle and turn on the DoorDash app just to try it out, right? Just for something to do. And we had a couple nights that we can literally count on one hand. It was probably 3 or 4 nights that we both had $100 nights, only working like 4 or 5 hours, just because it was that busy. I'm not gonna lie, I literally deleted the app as soon as I got a $2.50 order. Once I got that, I'm like, yeah, no, they're getting too comfortable with dropping these orders. I never liked DoorDash anyways. I just never liked it. Never liked it. It was very. It's a type of app that's very like. It's such an easy job, an easy gig, but it's like the room for error is like this much. Like the food can be cold and it might not even be your fault, but like you're literally the person that's dropping it off, and then you get shit for it, or you get smacked for it, right? I never cared to do that. Plus, it felt like I just never liked doing the delivering food kind of thing. That goes with Uber Eats. I never done that. What was another one? It started with the C. Caviar was another one that eventually merged with DoorDash. They took that client base, I think around like 2019, 2020. They merged. But yeah, I just never liked delivering food. Like the food delivery was just not worth it. As soon as I got that $2.50 order, I was out. Because a $2.50 order that's going to take a person 30, 40 minutes, not even because like you're driving slow. It's a long distance. The restaurant, I don't remember what restaurant it was, but it was a restaurant notorious for making you wait. And then on top of that, there were orders that like, oh, we ran out of this. Can you reach out to the customer? It's like, no, dude, I'm just doing this as a gig. Like, I'm not trying to reach out to a customer, do this or that for $8, $10. Like, it's not worth it. If the pay was more, then yeah, but like something like that should not pay that much. Like, that's just what it is. So like, I did it knowing that the pay was gonna be but it was something different to do. Instacart, I think at the time I stopped doing Lyft. I just got bored of it. So I was just doing Instacart, DoorDash, and then there was one more. I think those are the two top. Oh, Shipped was another one. But yeah, DoorDash was good. I've never tried it in a major city though. I will say that I've never tried it in a major city. Each zone is different, and the more closer you are to a major city, like Los Angeles, Boston, Washington, D.C., Seattle, like any of those major hubs, right? They're always going to be, most of the time, busy, right? And then on top of that, because they're busy, they also include like a bonus pay, right? So it depends where you live. It depends how far you want to go. But in my opinion, you can do DoorDash full time, but you have to love doing it. So for me, I did not care to do it whatsoever. It was just not fun. Constantly stopping and going, waiting at a restaurant, them not having something in stock. You got to reach out to a customer. Like, That's the kind of stuff you do at other apps, yes. But I didn't like DoorDash. I just did not like it. That's me personally. You guys watching this video might feel differently. Especially now that I think last time I checked, I haven't downloaded the app, but I saw online that there were new promos rolling out where when I was doing it for a couple months, the promos were not worth it. It'd be like, oh, do 150 deliveries and get, I think it was like a $300 bonus, which compared to what they did before I started doing it and after, that was nothing, right? So before, it was like complete 200 and you get, I think, $1,200 extra, right? So that is worth it. 150 for $300, not so much. Now, if you're gonna do the orders anyways, like I guess you can get it and get the $300, but just for them to lower it and then like keep the deliveries like roughly the same as what it was before, like I just didn't like that. So again, this is me. I just personally did not like DoorDash, or Dolda as us Hispanics would say it, right? But you know, the pros were like you got to see a bunch of new places, new parts of the city, or maybe you just ventured off maybe 15, 20 miles away from from the town that you live in, and then like, you know, you get to experience like, oh, this is where this is, or oh, I want to try this for food. That was one thing that me and my girlfriend did agree on. One of the major pros of doing DoorDash was finding out new places to eat. We actually tried a bunch of new places because we discovered them while dropping off for DoorDash. That was a huge pro. I love that about DoorDash. I will say that. A lot of new places that I never heard of, we started trying out once we figured them out. I think, what was one of the places? There was this Mexican place. It was like 15 minutes from us and we never heard of it. Just a bunch of different places. I'm trying to remember the restaurants at the time. Because I'm a foodie. I love cooking. I love trying new things. Love trying new recipes, stuff like that. So if I find a new restaurant where I can get ideas from and then try their food, stuff like that, I'm all for it. So that's just my thing. Like, I don't know, maybe you watching, maybe you're not into that stuff. Maybe you don't really care to like try, oh, new restaurant down the corner, or like, oh, this place serves pizza. Like, maybe that might not be your thing, but that's a huge pro when it comes to DoorDash. Another pro when it comes to DoorDash is they have this thing called Dashers Direct. And at the time that I was doing it, very few apps paid instantly. Now in 2025, right? It's January 2nd right now. Now in 2025, almost every app has something where you can get your money, like whatever you do for that day, you can get the money instantly. About 3-4 years ago, when I was doing DoorDash was the only one besides Lyft that allowed you to cash out instantly, same day. Instacart was still, they were still converting, where I think it took 2 days. Before that, it took a whole week. They only paid out on Tuesdays. But now it's almost like an app, in order for an app to survive nowadays, they have to offer instant pay. Otherwise, like, independent contractors are not going to care for it. And if they do try it, maybe it's like a really good paying app. But nowadays, most apps have to pay same day, if not next day. It's just, we're in 2025. Like, you can't have an app pay you once a week. For that, you might as well just go get a job, right? And hopefully people aren't doing this full time and living off of this stuff. But if you have to, worst case scenario, yes, I say go do it. But I'm not telling you leave your job, quit your job to pursue this stuff. Like these jobs, these gig apps are meant to transition you onto the next thing, right? So you go from, let's say you go from one job onto the next. Maybe you're moving from different cities and you want to have something lined up. Well, maybe you're moving 2 hours away the job that you're working, you gave your 2 weeks, 3 weeks notice, whatever notice you guys agreed on with your company. Then you go move. In the meantime, hopefully you did some research, try to apply to jobs before you moved out there. And then maybe let's say they say, oh, you can start in 2 weeks. But it's like, all right, so now I have 2 weeks. I'm probably going to get a check from the previous job, but I still have a week where I'm not going to get paid. Okay, this is an option. You can do DoorDash, you can do Spark, Lyft. So this is, in my opinion, what these apps should be used for. Also, any supplemental income, right? So me personally, I like to do it on the weekends, sometimes on the weekdays, right after work, just to get that extra money. Because to live, you got to pay bills, right? So that's all I got to say. It's just a lot easier when you can either do it after work, on the weekends, make that extra money, or if you're in between jobs, you just get on one of these apps and go do it. Do I think DoorDash is worth it though? In my opinion, right? In my opinion, for me, no, I don't think it's worth it. Just because of of everything that comes with it. I don't like doing it. The only pro that I can see with DoorDash is just discovering new restaurants. That's the only pro that I see. But besides that, yeah, you can do it and make decent money. But if I were to go do it again, and as soon as I see a $2 order, $2.50 order, it's gonna take 30 minutes. Nope, delete. I'm gonna delete the app. Because to me, I was making a joke about it. I'm like, damn, like they're really disrespecting the people that do this stuff. Like, they're paying this little, that's what they think of like the independent contractors and the people that actually keep these apps alive. Like, if you really think about it, like, these apps are running with nobody like actually doing them but independent contractors. Like, the people that develop the app, that's their specialty. They created or they noticed a gap in the market, right? Or restaurants maybe didn't deliver. Now they can deliver on these platforms, whether it's Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats. If a restaurant normally doesn't have delivery drivers, now they can have delivery drivers without having to pay. Maybe they just pay to be on the platform. I personally I forget what the structure is now for restaurants. I know it's like a monthly retainer that they pay to DoorDash. And then you could pay an extra premium to be on like the front page of DoorDash. If you guys have ever gone on the DoorDash app to order food, you'll notice there's certain restaurants that are like highlighted. They probably are paying a premium to be on the front page of that app. And ultimately it's all about money, right? So the more money you pay, the more you're gonna get seen. So that's unfortunately the truth nowadays, right? So I personally wouldn't do DoorDash again. Right now I do Spark, and I'll have a video coming up on Spark. See if it's worth it. Recently I was consistently doing Spark every weekend, but I took about maybe a little over a month off because I was making money on TT. And if you don't know what TT is, check out my bio on my profile, and it's in there. I just don't want to say the name. I don't know if it's gonna mess with the YouTube algorithm, but yeah, I made money that last month. It was from November to December, beginning of December. I was making money just on my phone, so that was pretty cool. But do I think DoorDash is worth it? Unfortunately, not. Like I said, as soon as they send those $2.50 orders, I'm out. Oh, another thing I didn't even cover. I completely forgot they did this, but during the rise of Instacart and DoorDash, right? DoorDash noticed, hey, we can make some extra money if we have the independent contractors shop for these customers as well. Because Instacart's either doing delivery only orders for groceries, or they're doing shopping and delivery orders. And they were paying good at the time. DoorDash wanted to hop on that trend, and they started having orders, smaller orders at first, but they started having shopping orders on DoorDash, which normally DoorDash is just you get an order for a restaurant, you go pick up that food, you drop it off. But then they started introducing, what's it called? Shop and deliver, where obviously it is, well, it is what it is. You're shopping for it, and then you're dropping it off as well. So those should pay a little bit more, but a lot of these apps have become so reliant on like customers that they'll pay like the bare minimum for the worker, whoever's doing the order, and then they'll depend on the customer hopefully leaving a big enough tip so that monetary value that shows up on the app is high enough for the person to be like, oh, this seems like a good order for 5 items or 10 items, whatever it may be. So that's a little trick that a lot of these gig apps and a lot of these platforms use. They really hope that the customer leaves a really good tip, and then this is my opinion, this is what I think they do. If they see or notice that a customer is like regularly leaving good tips, they'll start to lower the price of what they'll pay out to the shopper, right? And I just don't think that's right? A lot of these apps charge customers anyways to use the platform, and you get a bunch of perks and stuff if you do pay extra, or for a membership, stuff like that. So these apps are making money, both on the workers and the shoppers. I actually never did that app, but it was called Deliver That, and they charge you for a bag before you can even start working on that platform. So that was another one that I wasn't a fan of, but I got it anyways, whatever. I got the bag. It's an insulated bag. But yeah, anyways, to go back on topic, was DoorDash worth it? In my opinion, no. So if you guys are looking for an app, I would say like check out DoorDash, because it could depend on your area, whether it's good or bad or not. But do your due diligence, do your research to determine if these apps are going to be good for your area. But hopefully you guys can relate to that. Hopefully some of you guys have tried DoorDash and kind of notice the same things that I'm talking about in this video. But this is part 3 on if you can survive off of DoorDash. My answer was no. What would be your answer? Have you tried DoorDash? What are some other apps that you have tried? Comment down below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys. Until next time, I'll catch you on the next video.